Okay, so we're going to continue. 5, 2. Okay. This is going to be pretty easy.
Yay.
Okay?
I love easy.
Still, we're just going to do one-step inequalities. Okay? Instead of adding and subtracting, we are going to do multiplying and dividing. Okay?
This weekend, he's going to be 6.
Really?
I'm really excited.
I'm tanning.
Me too.
I'm tanning.
It's from 11:30.
Okay, we're going to focus.
Which day?
Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday, he's going to be 5, but
I'm reserving Sunday.
yeah, I told my mom that.
Okay.
So
Okay, if we have a positive number when we're multiplying to solve an inequality, basically if it's greater than, it stays greater than. If it's less than, it stays less than. Let me give you an example. Let's say it's x over 2 is greater than 3. So if I want to isolate the variable, okay, so what we're doing in this lesson is we're multiplying. So we would multiply both sides by 2, right? So on the left side, the 2's are going to cancel, and I would have x is greater than positive 6. Okay? Now, some of you might have learned if the number that we multiply is negative, the greater than switches to a less than, the greater than, or sorry, less than switches to a greater than. So here, I'll give you an example. Let's say I give you negative 1/3 x is less than 4. Okay? Negative 1/3 x is less than 4. So how do I isolate x? What would I multiply by to get rid of the negative 1/3?
Times positive 3.
Instead of positive, let's make it negative.
Negative 3. Times negative.
Okay, now, when we multiply by a negative, okay, so 3 times negative 3 and 1/3 will cancel. We'll bring the x down, but this less than sign, that switches to a greater than, okay?
What?
And this will be a negative 12. So whenever we multiply by a negative, the sign switches. So if it's less than, it switches to greater than. If it's greater than, it switches to less.
Inequality sign, but like.
No, the inequality does change. This changes.
That's the only thing that changes.
That's the only thing that changes. Only if we multiply by a negative.
Okay, why is that?
Well, think about if you have something on a number line, right? Like you guys know, like a number line here, right? Here's 0. This would be -1, -2, -3.
Yeah.
Well, if right, so if I say negative x is less than 3, what I'm saying is the opposite
Love that.
would be less than 3. So what's the opposite? The opposite would mean instead of being less than, it becomes greater than -3. It like flip-flops to the other side.
Flip-flops.
So now, in this first example, let's look at example 1a. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to cancel the 2 on the bottom, right? So the 2's are going to cancel. X comes down. Now, did I multiply by a positive 2?
yeah.
Yeah. So the less than stays less than. -3 times 2 is negative
So we have to
6.
switch it though.
No. This one didn't switch.
But why? Because it's a -6.
No. But what did I multiply both sides by a positive number or a negative?
For multiplying it by.
By,
a negative.
yes. So it's okay that this had a negative. It's just what we multiply. So on our number line, let's locate -6. That's right here. And then do we shade to the left or the right?
The right. The left.
The left. The way it's pointing.
Well, that's
It's okay. You can use your arm. Okay, now how do I isolate n on the next one? I'm going to get rid of the 1/2. Yeah, what would we do?
So I think you do times 2.
Good.
And then it cancels out. So then you bring down the n, and then less than -2.
Good. Now I want to rearrange it. So the sign didn't switch because notice I multiplied both sides by a positive
So
2.
would it be 2 is bigger than n?
Okay, but I want to turn it to make the n on the left side. So it's
Yes,
going to
I
be
mean,
So you flip the sign.
n is
Greater than -2. Good. So -2 is here. Also open circle. And this time we're going to shade to the right.
So this one doesn't switch though.
This one doesn't switch. Now take a look at C.
Can I do it?
Yeah, Evan, what would we do?
Would you do times by -4,
Okay, so we'll multiply by -4 on both sides.
and then you have x
So the
is
x,
less or equal to, what is that?
2 times -4,
-8,
-8.
and that's your answer.
Now this time,
If
notice,
you go to the -8,
good.
then it's shaded in circle because it's a,
Yeah, because it's got a line underneath.
and it goes to the right, the left.
No, you said it
To the
right.
right.
You're right. Notice this one, it started with less than or equal to, but I multiplied both sides by a negative, so the less than or equal to changed to a greater than or equal to. Okay? All right, how about the next one? What do we want to multiply by, Rachel?
You multiply both sides by +3. So x is greater than
Yep, stays greater than or equal to.
or equal to -9.
Perfect.
This is a negative though.
Right, but did I multiply by a positive number on both sides?
No, you multiply by
And it's shaded
negative.
in and it goes
So if
to
I
the left.
multiply both sides by a positive, okay, and then we shade
To the left,
or
to the right.
What?
Are we guessing?
I think I'm more
To the
close
right.
to this chair.
Wait, Miss Mason, you messed up.
I did.
For C, why did you switch the?
Oh, because you multiply by a negative, the less than or equal to switches to greater than or equal to. Okay. Now we're going to do division. And like I said, if we finish early, we should be able to
You know that one's
get most of the homework done.
about division?
Division, Papa.
Okay.
I already know how to do it.
Okay, so if it's a positive number,
Oh, this is so easy.
the sign stays the same. So an example would be if I have 2x is greater than 8. So if I divide both sides by 2 to isolate the variable, it stays greater than.
I know
Okay,
that.
so just like with multiplying when we have a positive number.
Question.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, and
there
then if it's a
two
negative,
different
you
why is
switch
there 3 algebras? You kind of unnecessary. I'm just curious. Why is there 3 algebras? There's algebra A, B, and a 2. So why is it?
Can we stay on topic?
Sorry, Ryan.
I'll talk about the progression later.
Can I do
Okay.
A?
So if I have, let me just do an example of this. If it's a -2x is greater than 8, I have to divide by a -2. So because I divide both sides by a negative, x becomes less than -4. So whenever we multiply or divide by a negative, the sign is automatically going to switch. Okay? All right.
I know number
Who wanted to
one.
help with this one, Evan?
So you do divide by 6 each side.
Good.
Cross that out.
Cross
and then
these
you
out.
get Y. No, it's 4 is greater than Y, but then you have to make it Y is less than 4.
Good. Y is less than 4, so here's 4.
And it's an open circle.
And then
And it goes
Go.
Aren't those like the same thing?
right.
to the right.
Miss Mason,
Yeah, it's the same rules for multiplying and dividing. Listen,
Isn't
we're
it the same
just-
thing that 4 is greater than y and y is less than 4.
It's the same thing. I just like to put it on the left side because later, Rachel, when we do what are called compound inequalities, we'll have multiple ones where we want to look at where they overlap. Okay, this one, we're...
I'll do the next
Yeah, Jordan.
Wait, why do
one. Okay, so
Oh, hold on 1 second.
why do I divide 6 instead of like why not 24?
Well, because I want to isolate Y. What's the
I think
coefficient?
You put the
Yeah, so let's take a look at this one. So Jordan...
For number 8, you put the inequality sign wrong in the circle.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good catch.
That was nice, guys.
All right, Jack caught my mistake there. It's supposed to be shaded to the left. Sorry about that. Okay,
What?
it was supposed to go this way. I shaded the wrong way.
wait,
All right,
is
Jordan.
this the answer for this?
did you get greater than 4?
Okay.
Okay, so
Alright.
we're gonna divide both sides by.
Okay, divide both sides by -14. And
Good.
then the -14 cancels out, and so you get okay. So you flip the sign because you divided by negative. So you bring down the a is greater
Less
than
than-
less than or equal to.
So greater than or equal to switches to less than or equal to.
Less than or equal to
4.
And so
And then here's
it's
4.
4 with a closed circle to the right.
To the left. I mean, to the left. To the left.
It's to
This way
No, it's to the
or
left.
this way?
This
To the
that,
left.
this way. Go left.
To the kind of number C.
Yeah.
So basically, you do divide by 7 to both sides, and then you get C is greater than -3.
Good.
Or negative.
No, you're right.
And it's
So
a open circle to the right.
excellent. Good job.
I'll do the next one.
All right,
Wait, how
Aaron.
is it?
So you're gonna divide by
Wait, why did it switch?
Because we put the C
Oh.
on the other side. Okay, Aaron.
track 5 to both sides, or divide by 5.
Yeah. Divide.
And to get G is greater than 4.
Easy.
No, less
easy.
than
Less than 4. Sorry.
Yeah, less than.
Easy.
I have a feeling like Jordan's like internally crumbling right now.
No, I'm not. It's so easy.
So